Today, lads, we are going to be running through our Playstyle and Playstyle Plus tier list. We did complete this a few months ago, and the tier list looked like this. Let's compare and see how things have changed since. If you agree with any, disagree with any, leave it in the comments what you'd move up, what you'd move down. I want to know, lads. I want to know. And what's your favorite playstyle you've been using this year? Because, you know, it's changed quite a lot for me throughout the year. And I think these have had such a big impact on the game, especially because I feel at this point in the game, they're more important than stats, which is crazy. Let's start with Acrobatic, lads. Now, a lot of people think the Acrobatic is just to do with like bicycle kicks, but actually impacts volleys, so it is quite useful. However, I think as a Playstyle Plus, it's not that important. As a basic silver playstyle, it is perfect. I'm gonna put it into the B tier for now. We might move some up, might move some down as we go on, but it's good. It's not useless because it does impact those volleys. But how often do you score those volleys, lads? Bruiser, it's good and it enhances players like Bisek to mean they can just move anyone off. But we're gonna put in A tier for now because I think there are better defensive playstyles. Anticipate, still S tier, lads, brilliant. However, now I think certain positions it's better for, and then in like the midfield area, I think I'd rather like an intercept over an anticipate, and then centre backs and full backs, I think anticipate's the best. Chip shot, lads, it's not useless because it does work. But how often again do you chip? The players that I've got, I use the João Felix showdown card, and that has the chip shot plus. And it is, when you do the chip shot, the animation is crazy how fast the ball goes up and down. Again, just for general use, you kind of force the issue with this, whereas there's easier ways to score than scoring chip shots. Dead ball. Now, for this, at this point in the game, I think it's essential to have at least one player in your team that has dead ball plus, because it turns those free kicks into penalties. We're going to put in an A plus for now because I don't think it's S tier meta that you absolutely need it, but it is such a bonus when you've got it, lads. For your cheap, safe and reliable FC24 coins, head over to U7Buy. They have the best service and some of the cheapest coins around. You can also save yourself a cheeky 6% off when you use my creator code AYYLP at checkout. Jeez. Whipped Cross Plus. Now, this all depends on your playstyle. I think it's S tier, especially because it gives you like a different dynamic. I wouldn't say it's more important than Anticipate though. Especially when you're using the aerial meta that we have now, it is important to a degree, but I think with the aerial meta, it's a lot of the LBX cross where you loft it up rather than just whipping it, but still a very, very, very good playstyle. Block, I'll put this into the A plus tier. It may move down. It's great, especially when you've got players with long legs already, like the Araujo, like Bisek, you know, these full meta center backs. It is nice to have on. I do feel as if the difference between the Playstyle Plus and the Basic isn't that significant, so you could get away with just having the Basic. And in terms of your hierarchy of defensive ones, I don't see it at the top. First Touch Plus. Now, this is an interesting one because it doesn't work the way I'm gonna put it into A tier. It doesn't work the way it should work, in the sense that every touch is just perfect, which in my opinion, that's how it should work. It works in a way where certain times where the player would miscontrol it, they don't. So the way it works, they need to kind of rework it, in my opinion, to move it up the list. If this worked on every single touch you took on the first touch, then it would probably be S tier, because the way you could, you know, control the ball finesse shot or just control it and turn and go, it would be super useful. But I think a silver version of this is just as good as the Playstyle Plus. I don't think the difference is too huge, and that's why we're putting an A tier. Still brilliant. The A and A plus tier, still brilliant playstyles, lads. Aerial Plus right now, that's probably the most meta one in the game right now, lads. How can you stop Haaland? He's just him. Any player that's got Aerial Plus and is over 6'3", it's just a nightmare. And if you're not using centre backs with Aerial Plus, or at least one, you are obviously getting dunked on repeat. And I've seen it to the point now where people are using like a Araujo at right back, and, you know, fullbacks in centre backs in fullback areas trying to counter these back post crosses, which you can't really blame people. They're getting dunked on by Haaland or Sorloth or Drogba. It's not a fun time at the office, and I think EA have no intention of sorting it because they keep on releasing these players with AYYLP. Travella, I'm going to put it into B tier. Was A+/S tier, but I think now the way they've nerfed outside the foot shot, it's not the most important, lads. You could get away with having just the silver and it would be good now and again when you contextually trigger the outside the foot shot, but it's just not as important as it was, lads. Quick step, I would say this is S tier. I love it's the best pace related playstyle in my opinion. Those first couple of yards you've got when someone's got quick step is just mental. Like my team of the season, Ronaldo, insane. A+, Relentless plus. To be honest, lads, any version of Relentless is nice. I think if they've got the base Relentless, that's more than enough. But Relentless plus, lads, you know it, they just don't get tired. And the way stamina works, your players take, as they get more tired, they take worse touches, they take worse shots, they just make more mistakes. So if your player is retaining his stamina, you're making less mistakes, which is why Bisek is him. Essentially, he just doesn't get tired, doesn't make any mistakes. He's huge. Intercept, lads. Now, I think this is the best defensive play style now. Just because a lot of us are just trying to cut passing lanes rather than just physically engaging. I think these two are both S tier. However, I prefer anticipate in the fullback positions, and in the centre back position, I think I prefer intercept, but a version of these is essential, lads, nowadays. And if they've got one of these as the playstyle plus, and then the other as like a basic, that's perfect, because the basic intercept is still very, very nice and noticeable in game. But my favorite defensive playstyle nowadays is the intercept. It's just so broken, lads, and the way the defensive AI works now, it positions them perfectly, and you know what it feels like, lads, when you intercept the pass and it bounces back, it decreases that, so it makes the game a lot less ragey when you've got intercept or an intercept plus. Flair, absolutely. No, right. Flair as a base playstyle is mental because it works with finesse shot and finesse shot plus. So if you've noticed, any player with finesse shot plus, they tend to have base flair, and players that have flair and finesse shot plus have ridiculous bend and swerve on their finesse shots. So this does impact your finesse shots. Otherwise it would be useless, lads, because it's just for the flicks and so on. But again, this one, if it's a playstyle plus, you're gutted because it's a waste of a playstyle plus. Whereas if it's got the base version of it, the silver version of it, it is nice because it impacts those finesse shots. Long throw, absolutely useless. It's not, I wouldn't say it's useless, but like, who's doing long throws into the box, lads? It's just a pointless playstyle. Jockey is A plus tier. It's very close to being S tier, especially when you've got those bigger boys and with high defensive awareness. This is just mental for keeping up with the speed of the attackers in this game. It's important. I think nowadays, if you've got anticipate, intercept, and jockey, they're the holy trinity of defensive play styles, in my opinion. Block, you can live without. Bruiser, you could probably live without, although it's nice when you've got anticipate and bruiser because they kind of work well together. Again, bruiser as a base, the difference between the base and the plus is pretty small. Tikkitaka, I love this one of my favorites. We're gonna whack it there. The way you can play quick passes with the Tikkitaka plus is insane, lads. Say nothing more. It is nuts. And I used that Forlan recently, who's a striker with it. Unreal. I would love to get another striker with Tikkitaka plus. Incisive pass, lads. I don't really do ground passes in the sense of the through balls. I usually put them through the air because they get intercepted less. So it's very good play style when you get the opportunity to play the ground through balls, but for the most part, it's not the most meta way you can play a through pass. Ping pass, lads, is this is going to be S tier for me. It's still phenomenal. Still phenomenal because it's not just the pass. It increases the pass speed and accuracy without affecting the trapping of the ball by the receiver. So even though the ball is coming in faster, they're not messing up the touch because the ball's faster, and that is why it's so good. Did you know 84% of people watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel? So if you are enjoying, remember to leave a like and sub to the channel if you are new. Long ball pass is my favorite passing play style. Unreal, especially when you whack it on a fullback or a centre back or a CDM, deep lying playmaker. You can fire the balls left, right, wherever, and it's just super accurate. And it's just amazing when you've got a couple of players with long ball pass in the team. But remember, lads, this is all my personal preference. You may prefer ping pass, which is fine, phenomenal, but this is my favorite. I love it. And it affects the through balls as well. When you do lofted through balls with the long ball pass, it is insane, and that's the reason why it's dropped the incisive pass all the way down. Rapid is good, but only when you're in like loads of space, and the way people drop back, it's hard to get the most out of this sometimes. On a counter, it's brilliant, but quick step is way better because it's just constantly working when you're doing the step over boost. Quick step plus the step over boost is just ridiculous, lads. Press proven is A+, almost S tier, lads, especially when you're using your big boy strikers. Like that full crew now has press proven plus, and it makes such a difference. Even if they got the base press proven, it helps. I've got it on Saka, and the way they can shield the ball and turn well under pressure with press proven is just mental. Perfect for your box to box midfielders. Slide tackle, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it here. It's probably my least favorite defensive play style because it makes you play a different way. Like, I don't like to slide tackle that often, but when I've got a slide tackle plus, I'm aware, and I make slide tackles when I shouldn't, so sometimes you get sent off for it. It's great when it comes off because you retain the ball well, but if I was going to pick one play style in a defensive set not to have, it would be slide tackle. Trickster, I would say, is fairly useless, lads, unless you like doing your flicks and tricks. In terms of winning games, you've got some good ones where you flick the right stick down and you do like the sombrero flick quick. That's nice. That's probably the most effective one. But for the most part, lads, you don't really want it as a playstyle plus. Technical is, I'm going to say S tier, but here. It's so nice, especially when you go in between the lines of technical, because there's so many S tier playstyles in it. Any combination of these lot up here and you're golden. But technical is amazing, especially when you got those high dribblers, and when you combine like high pace and technical plus, the way you're able to RB dribble is insane. Power header, if you've got the base version, is fine. Power header plus is a waste of a playstyle plus. It was relatively strong at the start of the game, but if you've got aerial and base power header, is fine. And to be honest, if you just have aerial, is more than enough. It does help a little bit when you've got the silver version, but no, I wouldn't say too much. Finesse shot, lads, is second for me. These two, the holy trinity. Well, I say holy trinity, the best two play styles in the game, especially on the attack. If we got attackers like Full Krug, who is unbelievable for 150k, finesse shot, press proven, aerial, what a player, lads. But finesse shot, lads, has made a bit of a comeback. It died off for a little while, but if you're in green times with the stats that we have on forwards nowadays, it's a phenomenal play style. And when I'm building tactics, I always have in mind where I want to play finesse shot players, because people do park the bus in this game, and having players with finesse shot plus forces people to come out and engage it, and it's just ridiculously important. And then power shot, lads, is A tier. Wouldn't say it's, let's put it, I'm gonna put it there. Unreal, because I've got a couple of players with power shot plus, and when you get good at the manual aiming, it's unreal, and they very rarely save the shots. But in terms of the attacking play styles, finesse shot is probably more important, but this one is a fun one. And let's be honest, the animations you get and the fun you get out of ripping those power shots and power shots plus is mental. Also, I like the power shots. I like to do the power shot cancel, where you load one up and then do a ball roll, and it makes your opposition run out, slide and dive, and they make mistakes, pull players out of position when you start ripping them. But when they go in, lads, you know, it's amazing. And that's my updated tier list. It's probably looking a lot different from what it was before, but leave in the comments what you would change, and I will catch you in another one. Cheers.